This conference will now be recorded.
Ravi, I cannot hear Ravi if you are speaking.
Uh, so can you able to hear me now, Chaitanya?
Yeah, Ravi.
Yeah, okay. So in the last class, we have seen how to find out the baddies. The baddies, how can we find out in three different ways? What are those? One is using CL underscore exit handler. Under this, you will be having a method called as get instance. In that, we need to keep a breakpoint and run the required transaction code and find out the right baddie, find out the right baddie and implement that baddie using SE19 transaction code. So this is what you will be doing in case of your CL underscore exit handler. Now the second way is using your SE84. In this, what we will do, firstly we need to get the package of the respective transaction code, package of the respective transaction code, and then open SE84, open SE84 and click on enhancements, navigate to enhancements, I would say, navigate to enhancements and then open, so, and then click on BADI definition, click on BADI definition and provide the package name, provide the package name and click on execute. Click on execute, you will be finding out the respective baddies. Now, the third way is using your ABAP debugger. ABAP debugger. So in this, what we need to do, so while saving the document, so put /h in the command prompt, in the command prompt, and then under the menu bar, click on what is this, breakpoints, and then click on breakpoint at, and then click on breakpoint at statement, breakpoint at statement, and then provide get underscore baddie, get underscore baddie, comma, call underscore your baddie. So these are the three things we need to use to find out the baddies. So once you figured out, so you need to write down in a notepad and you need to see the parameters whether it is going to working for our conditions or not. If it is working, then we have to go ahead and implement the baddie using your SE19. And remember some classical baddies. Classical baddies are being migrated, migrated to enhancement spots. So if you have, so these we will be calling it as the migrated baddies, the migrated baddies also. So if you find out a migrated baddie for a classical baddie, you have to always uh, do an implementation on your migrated baddie only, not on the classical baddie. Remember that. So this is the upgraded one. So you have to always do on your upgraded one. This is one. So the next one is we are going to see about your kernel baddie. So the next important topic is we are going to see kernel baddie, or I can say this as, so how to use your kernel baddie. So now for a single implemented baddie, so I have created this document. For a single implemented baddie, it is it is possible to create a multiple implementations. So SAP will allow you to go ahead and create multiple implementation, but at any given point of time, only one must be active. So now if I go ahead and open my ABAP, so what we have done, I'll open C19, and what we have done yesterday. So for this, we have created our implementation. Sorry. So for this, we have created our implementation. This is your single implemented baddie. This is your single implemented baddie. So for this, we can go ahead and create multiple implementations also. SAP will not stop you, but only one implementation can be active. So all the other implementations will not be in active status. Remember that. That's the main importance of your single the difference between your single implemented baddie and multiple implemented baddie. In both the scenarios, you can create multiple n number of implementations, nothing will happen. Whereas in the single implemented baddie, only one implementation you can make it as active. You can't make it as multiple. So that's the main, that's the only difference between your single implemented and multiple implemented. Now it is possible, but at any given point of time. But single implemented, in single implementation with the limited filter option. So I'm going to take your filter baddie as well. So single implementation with the filter using you use an options a different flavor of single use baddie. So if you have a filter, so then we can create n number of implementation for that filter baddie. So for that filter baddie, we can create a number of implementation. For a single implementation baddie with the limited filter, allows you to create a multiple active implementation for each and every filter value. So based upon your filter value, which one it has to be triggered, it will go ahead and trigger that one. So for that, I have created a baddie. So custom baddie we have created. So when we will be getting a chance to create a custom baddie in real time also, in real time in real time we will also create a custom baddies. So when we are going to create this, so whenever we are developing a product, whenever we are developing a product and we are selling that product in the market, selling that product in the market in the market. So then we will be using this. There are few companies who will be using SAP and they will be creating their own applications. They have created their own applications. So not using SAP, they have created their own applications and selling in the market. Selling in the market. Like uh, I forgot the company name. Yeah, there is a finance tool. One second. Vistex. So we have a company called as Vistex. So which is on SAP. So they are using an SAP Vistex is a module if you can see here. So it's not developed by SAP. Vistex is not developed by SAP. Vistex is a company. So which which they will be is using SAP, and they are developed their own product and selling in that market. They are selling in that market. Now, for this Vistex, SAP we will not support. Who will support you? The Vistex will support you. Now, when you are buying that, so they are designing this product. So now, based upon the requirement, you might need to customize your once you buy this SAP Vistex, you might done a customization. Now, what we'll do, Vistex will create a custom BADI for us. Custom BADI for us, and we will be using that BADI. So like this. So now if you are also working on one module which is not provided by SAP, and that means you are going to create that module on your own. So now, and you are selling that into your market, you will be getting a chance to work with your custom BADIs. You will be getting the chance to work with your custom BADIs. Now, we are going to see how can we work with our custom baddies. Previously we will be creating, so previously that means 10 years back, before the migrations has been happened, before the migrated baddies has come up into picture, 10 years back we will use to work with our classical baddies. Once the migrated baddies has been come up into picture, we will always creating of our enhancement spot. We'll always creating of our enhancement spot only. Now, I'll just go ahead and create that one. Let me see if our server is working. Okay. So now, in order to create your baddie, go to SE18. Go to SE18. Go to SE18, and then what you need to do, you have to create your enhancement spot. So now I'm going to create a spot. So what I will do, I'll just provide a name, ZENH underscore 7 AM ABAP batch underscore SE slider. So I'm just going to create this one. So now I'll just say enhancement bot for 7 AM batch, enhancement spot for 7 AM batch, and then so this is which technology you want to use. So BADI technology. If you want to create any composite enhancement spot, you can create it. That means a dummy enhancement. A dummy enhancement to show you that this is what we will be doing. All these things, if you want to create, you can do that. So as of now, I'm not going to create that one. Now just click on enter. So it will ask you for your package as well as your TR. I'll just saving that into my local object as of now. Now, so here, this is a spot. In this enhancement spot, we will be having all our baddies. Remember that. So all our classical baddies. So multiple classical baddies, multiple classical baddies will be added into one enhancement spot, and which is nothing but your migrated baddie, which is nothing but your migrated baddie. Now in this case, we need to go ahead and create our baddie. So just click on create. It will just go ahead and create the baddie definition. So I'm going to say z baddie underscore 7 AM underscore ABAP. I'm just creating this one. So now I'll be taking this as baddie for custom baddie for 7 AM ABAP. 7 AM ABAP. I'll just say click on enter. Now what I need to do, I'll be just selecting your limited filter baddie. Limited filter baddie. Whenever you have selected your limited filter baddie, you need to provide your limited filter. So how can you define that one? So now here you have to provide your create filter. And even right now on your enhancement spot, you can have your screen enhancement as well as your menu enhancement also. You can just go ahead and create your screen enhancement. The customer exists. Previously, the customer exists are not available in your baddies, but later on, once the migrated baddies has came up into picture, the screen enhancement and menu enhancements are also came up into picture. Now I'm just going to click on create filter. Now here you need to provide the baddie filter name. What is your filter and everything. Before that, what I will do, I'll just go ahead and create a data element SE11. So I'll be just creating a data element. So because uh, my older system is not there. So if my older system is there, what I will do, I will be taking up the example on that one only. So I'll be going to create a data element. See here, we are just going to create a domain or data element. Everything is fine. So I'm just going to create a data element with C bill source. So now I'll be just creating this, creating on your data element billing source. So now I'll be taking this as billing source. I'll be going to my field label. I'll be just providing this one. Okay, I'll be going to my data element. So yes, $TMP, yes. So billing source, I'm just going to create this one, and I'll just say data type as char, and let me provide this as one, char one. So now in the value range, I'm going to provide this one. So I is for internal billing, E is for external billing, and any other things you want, you can just provide that. So billing, and let's say for example, so next thing I'm just going to provide this one as your X, so data source billing. So I'm just going to take three things, and now I'll activate my domain as well as my data element. So these two I have activated. Now I'm coming back to my enhancement. So you just need to provide your PADI filter name. So in this, what type of filter values you want to check, whether you want to check, whether you don't want to check anything, or whether you want to check through data dictionary, or whether you want to check by your own program. Right now I'm going to do from your own dictionary. So I'm just going to take the BADI filter. So here they have created your domain and everything. So here also you can do it, enhancement spot, and what is the spot and everything, the BADI definition, the same thing. So name, which we have done till now with the limited filter, uses. So with limited filter uses, when you created this, you will be having your, so let me close this. When you created this, you will be having your interface as well as your implementations. So you have to create your interface and you have to create. Before that, what I will do, I will be just choosing my filter. So this is what I have done it. So now I'll be taking this as your filter. So now I'll be taking your billing source, Z billing filter. Zbill filter. I'll be taking Zbill underscore filter, and what is your filter type? So just click on F4. So whether you want to provide this as packed character string or numeric. So as of now, we are taking this. So now filter on billing source, filter on your billing source. So on which one you need to do, so whether you want to do by your own program or whether you want to through your dictionary. As of now, I want to through to my dictionary. So when you are creating your dictionary, so what is your source? My source, what I have created is my data element zbill source. So whether if it is a domain, you have to select this object as a domain. So I'm just going to create this as my data element. I'll just click on enter. Now here you will be having your filter. You are having your filter. So like this. So they have selected this object as a domain. Now you can able to see your filter. So once you have defined your filter, it's the time for us to create your interface. Now I'll just go here and you need to define your interface. So what I'm going to do, ZIF underscore, whatever the BADI name you have defined, you just need to provide that in your in your interface. Remember that, because if you know the interface, with the help of your interface, you can able to find out your BADI. You can able to find out your BADI. So I'll just show you that one also. So I'm just opening /OSE19 or SE18. So let me open my implementation and click on display. So see here in the interface, whatever the see BADI material check. So this is what your BADI definition name. In the interface of your standard also, SAP will uses the same thing. So you need to use the same thing while you are providing. So that's it. So now you want me to create this object. Just click on yes. It will go ahead and create your interface. It will go ahead and create your interface. So I'm just going to my interface level. So and then I'll be creating my interface. Click on yes, and then I'll be just going to create my interface. So now what I will do, I'll be just providing my interface name. So BADI implementation. So what is your implementation? So I'm just going to show you that one. Don't worry. So for every implementation, we are going to provide you a filter value. So what is your filter value? You are just going to provide that one. You have to just provide that one. So for all your three implementations, you can go ahead and create three implementation for your enhancement. So what I will do, I'll just go ahead and create that one right now. So what I will do, so I'll be taking this as get underscore billing source. So I'm going to take this as level the instance method. So that's it, and billing source. So can we write the code in the interface? Tell me guys, can we write the code in our interface? Yes, no? Can we write the code? In any interface, can we write the code? Okay. So the answer to that is no, we can't able to write this because we don't have the source code editor. So interface is a dummy class without any implementations. I already told you that one. So I'm just going to activate that one. So billing source, I'm just activating your billing source. So if you want, you can have your parameters. Okay. So I'm just going to I'll just created this one. Now go back. So my implementation is active. Now it's time for me to go ahead and create your implementation. So create your BADI implementation. So once it is done, implementations. So you will be having one single method. I'll just show you that one. So if I go here to your interface, you can have your single method. Whatever the method you have, you can just showcase you that one too. Now I'll be going to my implementation. Now it's time for me to create your implementation. So now right click and just click on your BADI implementation. So here you have to provide. So ZEIMP underscore BADI 7 a.m. ABAP. So I'm just going to take this as 7 a.m. ABAP, and then I'm going to take this as implementation of your custom BADI. Custom BADI, and I'll just say click on continue local object. So now you just need to provide your BADI implementation. What is your BADI implementation? So here also it's the same thing. So once you provide this, it will ask you for your ZBADI implementation. So I'll going to take this C IMP underscore BADI underscore 7 a.m. underscore ABAP. So BADI implementation of BADI 7 a.m. So now you need to provide this one. GCL underscore. I'm just going to provide the entire thing. Class name. Enter. I'll be just going to save that in my local object. Now your implementation has been came up. So here you need to define your filter values. See here, you just need to define your filter values. So I'm just going to define this one. So the implementation, enhancement implementation, you just need to go ahead and create your filter values. So now right click over here and click on your combination. So double click on this combination right now. So now you need to provide what is your value. What is your value, whether it's an internal or external. So I'm just going to provide this as internal value. I'll be just click on continue. So one value has been came up. Now in the implementation class, we'll be going to your implementation class. The same thing, I'm just going to do it. So now let's go to your class and you implement your method. So I'm just going to implement my method. What I'll do in my implementation class, I'll be going to this method. Yes, create your implementation. I'll be saying this as, I'll be saying this as what is what you're going to do. I'll be saying this as right. So I'll be going to say internal billing filter has been utilized. Internal billing filter has been utilized. So this is what you will be doing this. And now I'm activating this one. So along with that, I will be activate all these things too. The class and my enhancement. Everything I'm going to activate that one. So once you have activated, so now if this is one, if it is I, so this implementation is going to be trigger. So see, if it is I, it is this implementation is going to be trigger. So now what you need to do, so I'll be going to create one more implementation. So so this is enhancement implementation. I'm going to create one more BADI implementation. So what is your BADI definition? So this is my BADI definition, and then you need to create your BADI implementation. So ZIMP underscore BADI underscore 7 a.m. ABAP 2. So I'm just going to create this one. ABAP 2. So right now, see, I'm just showing you as it is a single implemented BADI with multiple. So I'm going to create multiple implementations. So with the help of your filter. So now I'll be creating this one GCL underscore. So I'll just copy this entire thing. I'll be providing this over here. So second implementation, I'll just say click on continue. Yes. So now see here, I'm just going to create one more implementation for this BADI 2. Okay. So now in this filter value, again, I'm going to set up this filter. So I'll just double click on this combination. So previously I have taken this as I. Now I'm going to take this as E. Now I'll be going to my implementation class. So I'll taking the filter right E. Okay. So now implementation class, I'll be just going to add this one. Now, yes. Now I'll be going to take this one. So right, external billing source filter BADI is called. Filter BADI is called. I'm just going to do that one. That's it. I'm not going to do any other thing. I'll just say activate. Along with that, I'll be activating my class 2. I'll be activating my class 2. That's it. So I have done my activation for my class 2 also. Now another one more implementation for my data source. So the same steps I'm going to repeat. So now BADI, and then I'll be calling this as 3 implementation, calling it as 3, and then I'll just copy this and paste it over here. That's it. Yes. Local object. Yes. Now we will be going to define our filter for my data filter. I'm going to do that one. So now I'll be going to my filter level. I'll be checking combination. I'll be selecting this one. So here I'll be taking this as data source billing. I'll just say click on continue. I'm going to my implementation class. I'll be just expanding this. I'll be going to create my implementation, right? Data source billing implementation, billing filter implement filter is called. So that's it. I'm going to activate this one, entire thing. So along with this one, I'll be just activating this one too. That's it. I have activated this one. Now go back. So now for one single implementation, we have created 3 BADI implementation. Once for one single BADI, you have created 3 BADI implementation. So this is your enhancement spot. Now see here, for this BADI, how many implementations are there? 3 implementation. All these 3 implementations will be called. But if I go to this technical details of this BADI, sorry, if I go to these technical details of this BADI, see here, it's a limited filter, but not a multiple use. It's a single implemented BADI. But how many filters, how many implementations he have? 3 implementations. So for a one single implemented BADI, how many implementation it can be having? Only one implementation. But with the help of this filter, we can create n number of implementations. But but actively it will call only one filter. Actually it will call only one implementation based on your filter value. Based on your filter value, it will go ahead and call that. How it will go ahead and call? So for this, I'm going to create an program SE38. So um, z zr7am calling BADI, calling BADI. I'll just go ahead and create it. So calling BADI. I'll be taking this as executable program. Click on save. I'm going to save that in my local object. So now I'm going to take this as no standard page heading. So this is, you know it. So I'm going to create a parameters p underscore data source type. What is my data element I have created? This is my data element. I'll be taking. Okay. So now I'm going to take this as my start of selection. So before that, what you need to do, first of all, you need to call your enhancement spot. So if I go to my code level, so all these things we have just done all these things. See, 3 enhancements I have done. So they are creating the data elements. That's fine. So we have done with the data element only. Now, the first thing is you need to go ahead and create this data. So for which BADI you want to refer, you just need to create that one. So see here, get BADI. And then once you define this, you will be getting your billing source. So now I'm going to create this one. So data go underscore or gr underscore obj type reference to what is my BADI I have created. This is my BADI. So I'm just going to define to this my BADI. So that's it. Now we need to say get underscore get BADI, get BADI gr underscore obj. So you need to provide your filters too. So control F1 has to be provided. So but it is not working. You just need to provide your filters. I'm just going to do that one. Filters. Filters. What is your filter value you have provided? Let me go to my this one filter. So this is my filter, BADI filter name. Control Y and Control C. So now I'm going to provide my filters is equal to what is my this one. This is the value. You just need to provide that. So that's it. Now if gr underscore, that means if active implementation is found, then we are going to create our method. So now I'll be going to say call BADI gr underscore obj hyphen what is your method, get billing source. That's it. Now do your pretty printer. So this is what I just, that's why I told you in the debugging, if you want to find out your BADI, you will be using your call BADI or get BADI you have to use. Now I'll be just going to activate this one. So once I have activated, let me keep a breakpoint over here. Let me click on execute. Now, if I go ahead and provide a different data source, let's take. So what is your implementation class that will be gets called? So gr underscore obj is initial. See here, F6, I'm just doing it. See here, your BADI first one has been called. The first class has been called. The first class has been called, whatever the implementation you have done. So as it is a filter, now if I say F8, see, internal BADI filter has been utilized. Now if I take this as, let's take this as B, and now click on execute. Now see here, if I take this as F6, see, program got terminated, an exception has been caught, CX BADI implementation is not found. So now what you need to do, you need to call this exception. So I'll be taking this as slash and SC38, open your program, click on change. So I'll be taking this as try and then catch. Catch. This is my exception, and then end try and try. So that's it. So now if I do my pretty printer, so now when I activate this one to avoid this runtime error, guys. So into, if you want, you can just say into data of lr underscore o lr underscore msg. So in this you can able to get your message. I'll be showing you that one. So I'll just activating this one. So now let me go ahead and click on execute. I'll be just providing it as B. So now F6. So it has caught this. So now F5, you will be having this one class. So if I go here to this class, CX BADI is not implemented. So which is based upon this one. So here you need to provide your message. BADI is not implemented. So what is your class? From this class, you just need to define your message, or you can just say if gr underscore obj is initial, so which is nothing but the BADI has not been called. So I'll be just say invalid filter. So I'll be just going to take this as else I'm going to take this as right invalid filter. Invalid filter. I'll be just doing my pretty printer and let's get activated my code. So that's it. So now when I just say x and when I click on execute, it will be showing this as data source. Now if I take this as external source, external billing source. So this is how you need to create your own BADI, and even this is how you need to implement your filter BADIs. So this is all about your kernel BADI as well as your kernel BADI with filter usage. Kernel BADI. Now, the last and the final topics is your enhancements. The last and the final topic is your enhancements. Enhancements. So in SAP, what is this enhancement? So in SAP, let's say for example, uh, for somehow reason you didn't find out any user exit, you didn't find out your customer exit, and you didn't find out your baddies. So now still you have to use that, but whatever the requirement that SAP has been provided is not going to be, is not, I mean, whatever your requirement, whatever the requirement that client has been provided is not going to be satisfied with any of these three things. With any of these three things, then we need to go ahead and do your enhancements. So directly we will be editing our code. Directly we will be editing our code without a access key. Directly we will edit our code without an access key. So how you can edit this? So SAP has provided a placeholder. SAP has provided a placeholder. SAP has provided a placeholder at the starting of the program for everything for at the starting of your program and ending of the program. It can be a function module, or it can be a subroutine, or it can be a class method, anything. So at any given place, it has provided a placeholder. So this placeholder we have to activate. This placeholder we need to we need to assign. So this assignment is called as implicit enhancement. Implicit enhancement. So this placeholder is called as your implicit enhancement. In enhancements, we do have two types. One is your implicit enhancement. Sorry. One is your implicit enhancement, and the second one is your explicit enhancement. So now the implicit enhancement is nothing but a placeholder. At the starting and ending of your program, SAP has provided a placeholder. How can you find out that? Let's consider this as my standard program. So let's consider this as your standard program. In this standard program, we have to find out. So that means we don't have your edit change access. So now I'm just going to my edit access. So sorry, display access. Now at this starting or at this ending, you have to write down your code at the starting or at this ending. So how can you find out? Just click on this enhance button. Just click on this enhance button. See here, and then click on, so right click over here anywhere and enhancement operation. So show implicit enhancement. See here, SAP has provided a placeholder for write down your code over here. Only at the at the ending it has provided, not at the starting. If it is a subroutine, then you can able to get that at the starting and ending. Let me show you that one also. Let me click on change. So what I will do, I'll go to my perform, call and execute BADI. So now I'll be just calling this one, calling an execution. I'll just going to create this object. Yes. So now in my main program only, I'm going to do that one. I'll be just calling this entire thing over here. And let's consider this as my standard program. Activate this one. And now let me enhance this. Let's consider this is your standard program right now. Now let me click on enhance. Now show your implicit operations. show your implicit options. See here, at the starting it has provided, at the ending it has provided of your subroutine, and even after the completion of your program also it has provided your thing. Now wherever you want, you can just go ahead and, so let's say at the starting you want it, so as per your logic at the starting you have to manipulate some of that details. So now you will be just right click over here, enhancement operation, and click on create implementation, or you can just select it over here and click on create. So what is the type of your enhancement, whether you want to do your declarations or whether you want to do your code. So I want to write my code, so you need to implement. So ZIMP, or else I'll be taking this as ZEIMP. I'm going to take EXE underscore your BADI, and then implicit enhancement. Implicit enhancement, I'll be just going to click on continue. I'll be just saving this. So now here you can edit your program. See, the remaining lines SAP will not able to edit, you can able to edit this. But remember this, when you are editing, when you are writing an enhancement, when we are doing an enhancement, so it will not work your pretty printer, not work it will not work your pretty printer. So you see here, you don't have your pretty printer options. Any other thing you can able to do that. So you have to make sure the code alignment has to be done properly. It's your responsibility. So I'm going to take right, I'll say implicit enhancement is called. Implicit enhancement is called. That's it. Now you go ahead and activate your enhancement. So that's it. Now again, see here, in between this one more enhancement has been came up. So you can create an enhancement over here, but internally inside your enhancement, if you want to do it also, SAP will allow you. So now when I go back here, when I go back, now if I click on display, see here there is an enhancement. There is a enhancements which you have created. If I go ahead and click on enhance and show my implicit enhancement, see here, there is one more enhancement that has been shown, one more enhancement that has been shown. So this, for this you have to determine your right spot and you have to implement your enhancements. So that's it. So this is all about your implicit enhancement. When I click on execute, if I provide this one, I'll say execute. See here, implicit enhancement is called and external billing source is also called. So that's it. So this is all about your implicit enhancement. Now coming to the next enhancement, which is nothing but your explicit enhancement. Let's say for example, you can't able to write down at the starting of your program and ending of your program. Let's say for example, you can't able to write down at the starting or else at the ending. At the ending of your program you can't able to write down that. So in that cases, in between the program, in between the programs, in between the standard programs, SAP has provided the placeholders. SAP has, one second guys, SAP has provided the placeholders. So with the help of your enhancement spots, enhancements spots slash enhancement sessions, enhancement sessions. So I'll be telling my one requirement. So what is my requirement? So we will be creating a material. So my requirement, which I have done it recently. So in my organization, in my organization, we, when we are creating a material, when we are creating a material, internal number assignment, internal number assignment, assignment will be used. Internal number assignment will be used. That means automatically SAP will generate. Now we are getting the material from IDOC. So there is a concept called as IDOC. I didn't tell you about that. We are getting the details from IDOC. From IDOC, we are going to get the details. When you want to post anything, IDOC at the IDOC backend also it will uses the function module or the workflow. These are the two things that it will be used to when you're working with your idocs. Now when you want to generate your internal number, that means SAP will generate the number. So the third party can't able to send the number. SAP has to generate the number. SAP has to generate the number. Now when it has to generate, so now for creating of your material, for creating the material, for sure we need the number. So if I go here to mm01, let me go back to your mm01, mm01, sorry, mm01. If you see this, without your number, let's say example like high technology and apparels. Now see here, without your number, without your thing, it will not allow you. It will not allow you. It's not defined for your material type. Okay, but anyways, or else I'll be going to my retail and I'll be going to my finished product. So without your material number, it is not allowing you. So that means material number is mandatory. But how the external system knows what is the next material number? They can't. They can't know, right? So we have to populate that material number when we are sending it to an IDOC. When we are sending it to an IDOC, we have to populate that. So for that, for this, for this, we we have done for this. For this, I have found out. First of all, I have found out what is the right function module. I know the function module, right function module. So I'll be going to take this as /n SC37 idoc underscore material input material. So this is the one. So I know it. So how can you find out this function module? I will be letting you know once we started with our idocs. Don't worry about that. Okay, idoc input function module. So this is my function module. So I have found out my right function module. So this is a function module which will be used for creating of your material. So now I'll be just clicking on display. So first of all, I have found out any baddies. At the before itself, I have found out any baddies. So I didn't find any baddies for this. I didn't find any baddies, any baddies / your customer exit. So user exits will not work. So I didn't find. So what is the next option? We have to go ahead with your enhancements. So what I have done, I'll come here. So first of all, what I think I might have to done. Hey, this is the older system, but if you go to an HANA, you will be getting here an enhancement spot. You'll be getting here an enhancement spot, or else let me check this if you have anything. Let me get that function module, guys. Sorry, I got the function module. Okay, so this is my function module, matmas 01. So this is my function module. Now, sorry, not that one. This is the function module which will be used for creating of your material. Now when I click on display, When I click on display, see here, SAP has as we have not find out anything. So now you can see here an enhancement point. An enhancement point. So these points you can able to create your enhancements. With the help of this, you can able to create your enhancements. So in middle, there are some places where you will be finding out this one. If that is going to be work, so here also you will be having your enhancements. So if that is going to be work, you will be just going to do that one. So in order to do that one, so right click enhance and then select this and then click on create implementation. So just say click on create implementation. I'm going to take what is here Z implementation, add material number, and I'm going to take this as add material number. I'll just say click on enter. I'll be storing that in my local object. I'll just say click on continue. Now here you can able to write down the code. So I'm not writing the code because this is a standard code for internal number generation. Internal number generation you have to write down. So this is your enhancement point. So once you have done this, just click on your activate your enhancements. That's it. So at some places SAP will provided your baddies, at some places SAP will provided your enhancement points, at some places you can find out your exits. So let's say for example, let's say, so this is all about your implicit and explicit enhancements. uh, so by this we have completed all your enhancements concept. Any questions guys before I just going to the next and the final topic in my enhancement? Any questions? Okay, I'll be considering it as no questions. Now let's say for a requirement we find out a implicit enhancement, second one explicit enhancement, third one BADI we have figured out, fourth one is your customer exit also we have find out, and fifth one is a user exit also we have find out. So which one, where we need to write down your logic? So the preference is the first and the foremost preference you always need to give is BADI. The first and the foremost preference you always need to give it is BADI. The second preference is your explicit enhancement. Why we need to give? Because in the explicit enhancement we can create multiple enhancements. We can create multiple enhancements. And the third one is your customer exit. And the fourth one is your implicit enhancement. So because user exits also, we will be working with your implicit only and user exit. So this is the preference you have to follow when you are working on your enhancements. When you are working on your enhancements. By this, we have completed all your enhancements concepts in tomorrow's class. Tomorrow also you have your session. At the same time, we will be starting with our interfaces and conversions. Interfaces and conversions. So in this, we will be having five topics. One is your three topics. One is your BDC. Internally in BDC, we have two subtopics. One is using the call transaction, and one is using the session method, call transaction method and session method. And then the second one is your BAPI, and the third one is your IDOC. IDOC. By once we have completed this one, the entire ABAP is completed. Only pending over with ABAP on HANA concepts, OData, and your CDS views and the CDS views. So for this, it will take you almost like 7 hours, and for this, you will be taking this almost like 10 hours. That's it. So within another 10 days, we are going to complete your entire ABAP course. So that's it. So that's the end of today's session. Before I signing off for today's session, any other questions? Okay, I'll be considering it as no questions, and we'll meet you tomorrow at the same time, and we'll continue with our session. Thank you all.